Namaste. For Indian dance students, scholars, historians, and everybody, Southeast Asia has remained a very important aspect of the growth and development of the art of dance because of the Hindu kingdoms that went to Southeast Asia, and with them merchants, artists, and kings went. Not only that, they patronized the Indian arts in Southeast Asia, and something beautiful grew. It is not Bharatanatyam, it is not Kathak, it is not, but it is a dance which is among amalgamation of like the sugar mixing in the milk, glass of milk, and then coming out with a beautiful new form. So you see the Cambodian dance, Royal Cambodian dance, you see the Javanese dance, you see the Thai dance and royal ballets, and you realize that it is an extension of India, and that is one of the major reasons that we also would study this development and growth of dance in Southeast Asia. About 2040 years ago, a batch of Hindu merchants and missionaries sailed and colonized two large islands in the southeast of India. Those were Sumitton, that is Sumatra, and Java. During this time, there was a great flow of people from Kalinga and Gujarat, who soon established powerful kingdom all over the islands and introduced their faith and culture. Thus, there was penetration of Indian culture which laid foundations for later development of many art forms like dance drama and puppet theatre. There was gradual expansion of Indian culture into the Southeast Asia during the first millennium of the Christian era. By the 6th century, Brahmin and Buddhist religious practices started, and by 10th century they became official religions. During these times there was a rapid growth of cultural influence. Great Hindu empires flourished and wise merchants ruled over the prosperous and peaceful people. The natives soon became Hinducized and their culture and civilization remained, but both came together. Indian for over 1,000 years, where Indian cult was thoroughly assimilated, theatre was profoundly affected. The four aspects of Indian culture were most significant. That was one, the cult of Shiva worship. That became the religious base for theatrical performances. The epics, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, became the common source of dramatic material and content. The Buddhist Jataka stories, same, and Indian style of dance spreading very almost entire area of Southeast Asia. Brahmanism became the official religion of the ruling dynasties there. Through the organized recitation, there was communication of religion and philosophy. The recitation of Hindu epics and especially Ramayana in the temples was done. As Shiva is the lord of dancers, the Shiva worshippers were dancers, musicians, and so forth in the courts with some kind of theatrical performances. There were many dancers in service of the various temples. Dances, recitation, and dramatic performances were given in the newly Indian court of Southeast Asia. all drew their subject matter from Indian epics such as Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Puran. The dances and dance dramas evolved in royal courts with long but direct and simple story in several major episodes of Ramayana. In Java and Bali, the Mahabharata provided the major dramatic themes for early court dance and drama. Epics came to Southeast Asia through two channels, the writing and revelations. In Thailand, Ramayana became the most popular. The most pervasive of all Indian influence of the Southeast Asia theatre was dance. Everywhere except in North Vietnam and Philippines, dance forms can be seen with much variety with a recognizable common base in Indian dance. Essential Indian is seen in the turn out of the knees, the set finger position, the regular break of elbows and famous horizontal striking movement of the head. The temple waltz in far show merry dancing girls, musicians with flute, janjeer, brass and Bombay xylophones, conch and cymbals. Dances were created around the characters of epics. They mainly told a brief episode in dance form. Full-fledged dance dramas were created in Java and Bali and later intaken them in Cambodia. There was no mere contribution of India towards the development of theatre in Southeast Asia as the performing arts defined in India, but they flourished music, dance, drama in the courts and as folk arts among the people. Indian influence incorporated into national styles which developed in different directions. Facial expressions described in Natya Shastra is a major part of Indian dance system. But in the Southeast Asia, facial expression was almost completely eliminated from the dance. The face is held totally immobile in Thai, Laos, Cambodia, Malaysian, Sudanese and Javanese classical dance except in Bali. Facial expressions are considered a vulgar emotional play and rejected in order to heighten the elegance and dignity of dance. The earliest forms of Javanese theatre are Wayang Kulit, shadow drama, and swaying paper scroll play and swaying topang, the mask dance. Wayang Kulit developed in its maturity into a pure joyance phenomenon. Dalang, the chief performer, manipulated the non-rejoined puppets, telling a story to the accompaniment of several instruments, including some that are part of the present day gamelan ensemble. These shadow plays had reached a high level of sophistication. They were patronized by the kings. The great majority of the plays concerns demigods and mythological Javanese kings who appear in Mahabharata and Ramayana. A number of other puppet forms grew out of swaying kulit, such as swaying go dog and wall young golem that dealt fingers, Vielang Madhya, leather puppets, swaying kiltit, flat wooden puppets, and such. These all plays have different stories according to their names. The second early type of Javanese theatre, one of the simplest known anywhere in the world, is Wayang Baber. Here the dolls tell a story to musical accompaniment with illustrating his story by unrolling long paper picture reels. The third type of theatre with probable documents and records found in pre-Indian animistic culture is Topang or mask dance. Two of them are the three masked performer dance and speak episodes. This form crystallized when Indian style dancing was incorporated into existing mass dance. Topeng was danced by villagers as a folk dance. All these three were cultivated and developed in the royal courts and were also known and practiced by peasants in countryside, keeping ties with the village culture from which they originally sprang. Wayang or Javanese dance form is purely a court creation. The kings and princes took part in them. They were often performed in the early 17th century in the courts of West Java, Sumatra, and Burma. In the 18th century, at the Central Javanese courts of Sukarta and Jogjakarta, Ramayana Mahabharata stories were staged as dance dramas. Thus, Wayang Kulit, the human puppet, was born. Swaying Kulit puppets were set to dance and played on the stage by human actors. In the 19th century, costumes were made in the style of swaying Kulit figures. These were special troops of performers. Public interest was aroused, and today there are about 20 major swaying troops in Indonesia. Katoprak and Ludruk are products of 20th century. Ketok, that is to knock. The singing and stamping of rice in the field was brought to city, adding tambourine, drums and flute and music, and dance were composed on stamping rhythms of lazing. The actors acted and danced on the stories based on Javanese history and legend. These were many professional and mature groups, and even today they exist. With these religious dances with partially dramatic concept also flourished non-dramatic dances such as simple and Belayu court dances in Java. Later, these non-domestic dances were grafted onto swaying orange dance drama. They were popular with the court but had hardly anything to do with the play into which they were put, but they had their separated identity. In Java and Bali, Indian dance was greatly simplified. 4 hand positions, that mudra, 6 foot positions and 4 arm positions made up the entire repertoire of basic positions in Javanese dances. Movements do not convey emotional or symbolic significance. In Javanese dance, both male and female dancers wear sashes at the waist which they flick, grab, swipe, twist, drop on, merely hold. One feels a strong contrast between the graceful, smooth, sinuous, ever-moving dance patterns of women dances and the thrust, lunges and powerful movements of the male dancers. Sirimpi and Bedoyo are the slowest dances in the world. The movements are so controlled that one posture flows imperceptibly into another. These dances seek beauty in all its phases. These dances have grown from the blending of two elements, Indian and Javanese. Indian elements are religious ceremony performed by dancers, ceremonial salute, Ramayana Mahabharata stories, hand gestures, head 6-year movements and painting of dancers' faces and bodies with ochre yellow. In Javanese elements are ceremonial entrance work, the use of arms, legs and torso like swaying, kulit and swaying wayang dolls. Javanese historical and legendary subjects form the dramatic theme of the dance dramas. The war dances and extremely refined feminine dances, the trance-like execution of dances and the masked topeng dances. Human theatre dance dramas, that is the Wayang Wong, using Indian epic or Javanese myth and history as subjects. The most beloved heroes of these plays are Arjun, Bhim and Panditji. It is played exclusively by male dancers, dandlers, boys taking the feminine roles. Representing a warrior preparing to meet his beloved, arranging moustaches, hair and escrow, cooking in mirror represented by the end of his amour, dancing is anticipated joy with exuberant vitality is the Kalana dances. These dances appear in swaying wing or in a way neck topping plays and also presented separately. Kipra dances are expressions of gaiety, exuberance or love and are danced only by princes. Masculine counterpart of Sirimpi dances performed by only princesses. Wayang Topeng is a mass dance drama of primitive Japanese origin. originally rituals connected with animalistic and ancient cults, they developed a one complicated form by absorption of Indian theatre conventions and gestures. Bedoyo is exclusively feminine court dance, danced by the 9 girls of the royal palace belonging to the royal family. Sirimpi is a feminine court dance reserved exclusively for royal princesses who dance it only in the presence of the sovereign. 4 princesses dance it in pairs, one pair duplicating the other in a very attenuated story of love and jealousy for a historical king. Both the above dances that we discussed have very clearly and lovely geometrical patterns, girls taking their positions in the floor pattern with the men accurately then finally drilling the soldiers. In Thailand, the dance came through the great Khmer Empire. 12th century dance had come to Khmers with the Shiva cult from India. The Shiva temples supported ballets and groups including musicians, kings and nobles, and then private halters for entertainment on festivals. When Buddhists started, temple rituals were simplified, but dance continued at the courts and in the villages. The dance dramas and ballets were and still are enjoyed by the people. Dance dramas are the theatre and much more, for they contain the literature, poetry, history, myths and legends of the glorious past. Though this dance art has definitely prescribed technique, it has not remained static. Contribution and innovations by gifted artists have added new life and flavor to them. The dance filtered through Khmers to the Thai, losing some forms and evolving others according to the racial local taste until it became a distinctively Thai dance art. The upward curve or flourish, as it is characteristics of the Thai art. Only in Khmer, the Cambodian dances, is this extreme curvature of the fingers used, an uplifting of the toes and deeply flexed knee complete the plastic harmony of the dance postures. Thai classical dance have extensive repertoire. The most classical form of Thai dance is called Khon and is danced exclusively by male dancers doing the feminine parts and being taken by the most slender and delicate featured boys. The dances are and dance dramas are relating episodes from Ramayana and Mahabharata on Thai myths and historical episodes, always about kings and princesses, heroic celestial beings representing the ideal types of the race. The second classic form is Lakhon, danced by women by both men and women and relating the same dance dramas. The feminine style of dancing differs from the masculine only in certain modesty of deportment. The feet are placed nearer together, knees are flexed towards the known instead of being widely open to the sides. The head is carried mostly chin slightly drawn in, eyes flattened downcast. All feminine movements are gentle. The masculine style expresses virility and strength, especially the roles of warriors, giants and demon. The feet are placed widely apart, knees are kept deeply flexed and raised hip high. The movements are sharp and energetic. Head is carried high and arrogantly. The characters such as Hanuman are definitely comic roles. The cosmos are captivating jeweled headdresses, glowing masks. Basic feminine costume consists of tight-fitting undertaker, a panning skirt of brocaded silk held by belt, value cape, broad jeweled collar, amulets, bracelets, rings, headdress of gilded buffalo hide, studded with fine mirrors. Basic male costume consists of knee-length trousers, pennants strapped over it, extra length tucked behind at the back, jeweled high jacket and a special headdress. Dances are part of spiritual offerings and serve as prologue to various animistic ceremonies in Thailand. There are many such dances. Lakhon Jatri is one which evolved into dramatic form after first absorbing Indian dance and later Buddhist subject matter. In here are performed one of the oldest and most unusual of Indian dance movements. Such acrobatic movements were eliminated from Thai classical dances as they became refined and to suit aristocratic taste. The data traditionally given at the beginning of Thai classical dance is 1431, when the Thai conquered Angkor and kidnapped the Khmer royal dance group. That classical dance is known today as Thai adaptation of Khmer court dance. Female and male dramas are the two main theatrical forms. Only in the recent years have men and women come to perform together on stage. The major types of female classical dance in Thailand are Nai, or the drama of women of the place. Other forms of court were performed by men only. Nanggi, that is shadow drama, and Kon, the masked pantomime, are the most important. Both have dramatic episodes from Ramayana. Thai distinguishes 5 main types of Kon that differ in details of performers. Each form of Kon consists of 3 elements: vigorous dancings, narration of the Rath Yatra text, dialogue spoken by an off-stage chorus. Both these forms were given royal patronage. The troops were maintained by the courts. They encouraged members of the court to write dramatic versions of Ramayana. Now a Thai National Theatre is set up by the Department of Fine Arts of Thai government. It stages regular public performances of Kon and Lakhon Nai in Thailand. Dancers learn an alphabet of dance patterns which are availed from Indian dance. Many of the basic movements are similar to those described in the Natya Shastra. Laos is a very small country. I suggest that all of you look into the world map and look into the places where they are oriented in connection to the other countries. The development of theatre forms can be described in fairly simple terms for Laos. Originally, there was Mohalam, courts folk singing. Next, Cambodian court dances were introduced by Khmer, and in last decades, Lakai from India has adapted to Kon music to form also popular theatre. The Kon is also national instruments around which the art of Mohalam singing has developed. The singer sings loud. The earthy accounts of sexual love, woven with the bills of local gossip, news of court and the fragments of Ramayana and Jataka stories being patronized by groups. Royal dancing girls were trained and maintained and performances were given. But as the court was small, new theatre forms did not evolve. During 18th and 19th century, Thai got political and cultural dominance over Laos, and Thai dancing and musicians started to set standards. Solo and small group dances are popular. Thai-like was introduced in the 20th century. The theatre arts of Bali are most famous than all those others of Southeast Asia. Performing arts have flourished here like anything. The Balinese perform different dances, dance dramas and plays. Amongst these are wedding, kulak, swaying, wong, peng, ardia and barong fall, in the category of the drama. There were string traditions of performing arts before Hindu influence, closely linked to the Balinese animism. These traditions, fertilized by Indian style, dance, and literature, was introduced to Bali through Javanese court culture. Between the 11th and 12th century, the Javanese dramatic forms came to be known in Bali. In here, the number of Ramayana stories performed are greater than in Java. Balinese Wayang Bong is essentially a folk art. It is a village production performed in just villages. Masks are used for all but alus or refined characters in here. Not dance by citation or by long pointing passages in important and only Ramayana stories are performed. Topeng does not have more than 5 actors. They are all masked and dance is the chief medium of expression. In the Arja, panic swords are dramatized here. The stories alternately sung and danced. Also, chainless love stories, Ramayana and 7 Mahabharat stories are taken and performed by beautiful girls. Accent is on fast moving action, on plot, on sentimentality. It is performed by professional groups, only theatre where curtains are used. The trance dance, a religious act itself, is Barong. The Balinese dancers use striking eye movements. Indian dance was greatly simplified with only 4 hand positions, 6 foot positions, makeup and basic movements. They do not convey emotion or emotional and of symbolic significance. The topical movements of Indian style dance, which developed on Bali, is the half crouch position of the female characters and the outthrust clenched fist or raised and fully extended leg of male character. Balinese dance is easily identified by unusual asymmetrical thighs position, hip thrust to one side, shoulder to the other, and the flashing eye gestures used here by the dancing girls. One feels a strong contrast between the graceful, smooth, sinuous, ever moving dance patterns of women dancers and about thrust, lunges, and powerful movements of the male dancers. The important Balinese dances are the feminine ones are Legong, Snagyang, Rajang, Mobong, Janger, Mendet, Jogt. And the masculine ones are Basic, Kalichak, Ritual Breeze, Mebong, Janger, Mendet, Jogt, Chambat dances, Kebiar. Janger has evolved from much older dance forms, the Kejek and the Sangyang, both ascetic trained dances. But the Danger shows its former religious connection now only in the offerings mode at the beginning of its performance. Janger is always done in square formation, 2 lines of boys bracing out other and same way 2 lines of girls, songs and dance alternate. Gifts and they wear sarongs and Danger headdress. Gamelan is the musical instrument used. The boy make pyramids and do acrobatic stunts intermediately of hollow square. The girls make lovely weaving patterns with arms, hands, neck and eyes sitting in their 2 rows of deltmating with boys, dance duo, tries and solos. It is least interesting but amusing dancing. The Gong Kabiar is Balinese symphony orchestra, most beautiful and complicated music of Bali. The dance presented with it is also called Kebiar and in a recent generation. Dancer sits cross-legged with wearing fan, quivering fingers, flowing arm movements, seductive yet movements in the center. The ingoting characteristic neck movement, making head to size is used Kim Gabier. Ice flesh drop, dark flutter, melt into reductive swoon, become finitely possessive eyes, harmonizing with the moods of the music. Kabhi Yer, always a masculine solo, gives the impression of the utmost refinement in dance. Sanyang, a dance of little girls or boys in trance, is associated with gong. The dancers wear legging costumes. It is a purely aoristic dance. The most beautiful ceremonial dance is the Revjang. In its extremely slow rhythms, sesh play, profit figures management, and the train between the feet, slow turning of the wrist, learning and leaning in the space, has the dreamy, unworldly quality. This dance is performed to cast out digresses, and so it is exuberant. It is danced by women. In Cambodia, a number of folk dances are seen in rural areas of Cambodia. They have descended from prehistoric times. The truff, a deer hunting dance, is typical masked player represented by hunter, demon, bull, girls and deer. They dance the story of a deer hunt to the accompaniment of chatting and drum playing. Originally, this dance was performed before hunt to invoke the blessings of the animistic spirits. The major traditional Cambodian dance drama dates from the early days of Indian influence around 4th century. The arrangements were made for daily recitation of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Cult of the Shiva was important since 4th century. Khmer dynasty was founded in 802 and Javanese style of dance was introduced. But Khmer went on to develop their own highly individualistic style of dance. From 600 years, Cambodian court dances flourished. The Apsaras on the ruins of Angkor Wat shows the important place which the sinuous ritual dance played at the court. Other reliefs represent stories from Ramayana and Krishna cycles. Black period happened till 19th century. Between the 13th and 19th century, Thai developed Khmer dance and music in some new direction. Only later was the Thai scripts translated into Cambodian. Single classical group in the Royal Cambodian Ballet at Phnom Penh and male dancers performed unmasked dance known as Khon Kavli, but note it was seldom performed by any female and it was stories based other than the epics. Then Lakon Basel is a popular theatre created in 19th early 20th century. It can distinguish between Cambodian and Vietnamese elements are seen. Only theatre form in which Indian based theatrical elements and Chinese based theatrical elements are mixed almost on equal amount. Also French plays became popular as it was the colony. Ruins of Angkor Wat show how highly regarded dance was in the Khmer Empire. All thousands of sculptures have female dancers and no male dance is seen. This is because the temple have Shiva and Vishnu and those two cults employed only the girl dancers, the Devadasis. These court dancers were part of the harem. Shiva cult needed ritual dances and the kings and the nobles gave for it. So, where after once they fled, the king and princes had their private groups and which were composed of women dancers. So, as you have seen from the historical times and only the Indian kings going, the religion going, the men, the female being dancers, today it was only males dancing, and now today men and women both dance in most of the countries of the Southeast Asia. Thank you.